Today is Thursday, December 8th. What to know about newly reported classified documents in former President Trump's possession, but it was Trump's own lawyers who turned these over. We'll explain. Also, 2 attempted government takeovers. One nation's president is now arrested, with the new leader making history as she takes his place. Plus, which state is now suing one of the most popular apps in the world and why? The phrase to say to Alexa if you want to help out an Amazon delivery driver this holiday season. And one of the biggest contracts in baseball's history. Those stories and more coming up. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in around 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. As the Justice Department investigates how classified documents ended up at former President Trump's home, even more have reportedly turned up. But these ones were not found in an FBI raid. Reports say it was actually a team hired by former President Trump who discovered them. News outlets like the Washington Post and New York Times say the search found at least 2 more documents with classified markings in a storage unit. And they say Trump's lawyers told the Justice Department. A spokesman for the former president says it just shows how these lawyers have been cooperative with the government, even during what he called an illegal and unwarranted attack against President Trump. Trump has said before that he thinks the Justice Department is politically motivated to bring him down. And so far, he has not been charged with a crime. It's been a big year for immigration. The U.S. government now says nearly 1 million immigrants became American citizens in the last fiscal year. That's the 3rd highest yearly total recorded in American history. Most naturalized citizens gain citizenship after living in the U.S. as permanent residents for 3 or 5 years. They also generally have to prove they know English and understand American history and how the U.S. government works. And now that they're full citizens, that means they can vote in federal elections, get American passports, and sponsor family members to come to the U.S. through an expedited process. Still, they don't even make a dent in the backlog. At last check, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services was still overseeing more than 8.7 million immigration cases. There have been some pretty wild changes in Peru, where the president was impeached and arrested, and a new president sworn in, all within 24 hours. It all started when President Pedro Castillo tried to dissolve Congress and take unilateral control of the government. Soon after, the head of Peru's army resigned, along with 4 cabinet members. Then lawmakers overwhelmingly voted to remove Castillo from office, and he was arrested on a rebellion charge. With that, his vice president, Dina Boluarte, was sworn into the top job, becoming the first female president in Peru's history. She criticized Castillo's actions as an attempted coup. Across the Atlantic Ocean, there was reportedly another attempt at a government coup, that one in Germany. Authorities arrested 25 members of an extremist group, and the federal prosecutor says they were partly inspired by the QAnon conspiracy theory that started in the U.S. They're accused of planning to storm the federal parliament, then use violence to overthrow the existing democratic government and replace it with a military government. Their arrests came after police raids at 150 different places in one of the largest operations of its kind in recent history. Along with the 25 people who were arrested, dozens more are still wanted. To be continued. It's considered a major turnaround in China. First, we told you huge crowds of protesters took the extremely rare step of rallying against the Chinese government over strict COVID-19 measures. And now, in what's perhaps even more rare, it seems their leaders are actually listening to protesters' demands. The country rolled back parts of its zero-COVID policy that has confined millions of people to their homes during the pandemic. For starters, it dropped testing requirements for some public places. Also, people with mild cases will now be able to isolate at home instead of at quarantine centers, and there's more. Still, China's zero-COVID policy is not going away entirely. There are still restrictions on foreign visitors. Leaders there are calling it a gradual shift back to normal as they work to get more people vaccinated and build up the hospital system to cope with a possible rise in cases. Time magazine has announced its Person of the Year for 2022. This year, the honor goes to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and the spirit of Ukraine. The cover of Time's new issue features a portrait of Zelensky, surrounded by fellow Ukrainians, protesters, Ukrainian flags, and sunflowers, which are a symbol of peace in the nation. Time says Zelensky's decision to stay rather than flee when Russia invaded Ukraine gave others the courage to stay and fight too. Time has named a Person of the Year every year since 1972. This time around, the magazine also honored the women of Iran as Heroes of the Year. and K-pop group Blackpink as Entertainer of the Year. More news is still coming up, but first, a quick break for our sponsor. If you need help figuring out what to give certain friends or family this year, consider Rothy's. I always like to give products from a brand that I can feel good about. And with Rothy's, you're showing you care about comfort, durability, sustainability, and style. Rothy shoes are not only high quality, machine washable, and comfortable, all important things, and I know because I have 3 pairs of them, but they're also made with their signature thread, repurposed from single-use plastic bottles. And when it comes to style, I appreciate that Rothy's has the perfect combo of classic and trendy. So you know when you give Rothy shoes, that person can wear them for many seasons to come, and you can feel good that whatever you buy, it's on trend. And don't worry, if you don't know someone's shoe size, Rothy's makes versatile bags and accessories as well. Get stylish shoes, versatile and durable enough to wear all the time with Rothy's. And you can get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/newsworthy. That's ROTHYS.com/newsworthy. Yankee star Aaron Judge broke another baseball record, this time off the diamond. Reports say he landed the biggest free agent contract in baseball's history. Outlets like ESPN and CBS Sports cite sources who say it's worth $360 million over 9 years. That's nearly $150 million more than what the team offered him in the spring. Judge turned that one down, then went on to have a historic season, breaking the American League home run record. After shopping offers from other teams, the 30-year-old player came back to the Yankees. The new deal breaks down to $40 million a year. And with that, Judge has surpassed the Angels' Mike Trout as the highest-paid position player in MLB history. Vaping company Juul Labs has agreed to settle thousands of lawsuits over its e-cigarettes. Juul has not said exactly how much it'll pay, but says it covers more than 5,000 cases and 10,000 plaintiffs. This would wrap up lawsuits from personal injury and consumer class action cases, government entities, and Native American tribe groups. This isn't the first major settlement this year for Juul, though. For years, the company has been under fire, accused of illegally marketing e-cigarettes to kids and teens, making the underage vaping crisis in the U.S. worse. Juul has repeatedly denied these claims and has not admitted wrongdoing in this latest settlement. Several states are cracking down on one of the most popular social media platforms. This week, Texas Governor Greg Abbott banned TikTok on all government-issued devices. South Carolina, Maryland, South Dakota, and the U.S. military have already done the same. It's all over concerns the Chinese government could have access to users' personal information because TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, is based in Beijing. Separately, Indiana's Attorney General announced 2 lawsuits this week, claiming TikTok exposes young users to adult content and lies to users about the Chinese government's access to their personal information. TikTok is saying not true to all of it and released a statement saying, quote, "The safety, privacy, and security of our community is our top priority." Amazon is facing a new lawsuit that says it stole tips from some of its delivery drivers by misleading customers. Washington, D.C.'s Attorney General sued this week over what he says happened to drivers who worked for Amazon Flex. Well, the AG says the issue is, for 4 years, starting in 2016, Amazon said 100% of tips would go to Flex drivers, but that Amazon then changed its payment model in 2019 and stayed quiet about those changes. And with the new model, Amazon was allegedly just using the tips to pay the drivers their base rate. An Amazon spokesperson responded to the new suit to point out that the company settled this exact issue with the FTC already and that the suit is not necessary. Last year, the company agreed to pay tens of millions of dollars to 140,000 drivers. But the new D.C. suit claims Amazon was never fined and says Amazon needs to be held fully accountable. Separately, Amazon rolled out another tipping option this week, and this time the company is footing the bill. Anyone who uses an Alexa virtual assistant just has to say, "Alexa, thank my driver." And that driver will get a notification. And the first 5 million drivers thanked will also get $5 from Amazon. The 5 drivers who get the most thank yous this holiday season will also get $10,000 for themselves and $10,000 for a charity of their choice. Starting today, Disney Plus subscribers who want to keep watching their favorite shows and movies without ads will have to pay a little more. Disney Plus is launching its ad-supported tier for $8 a month, and the original plan without ads jumps to $11 a month. Disney is the latest streaming service to roll out an ad-based option. Netflix launched its version a month ago at $7 a month. That's it for the main news today, so now it's time for Thing to Know Thursday. But first, this episode is sponsored by KiwiCo. I love knowing that I'm buying someone I care about a unique, great gift for the holidays. And if you have kids in your life, KiwiCo is here to help you give more than just gifts. They're here to show you how to give awesome. From robots to rocket ships, all of their projects are designed to spark fun and excitement for kids of all ages. For my little one under 2, I love getting these high-quality toys that are made to help him learn new skills and enjoy the process all along the way. I also appreciate the guides that come with it to explain all the ways you can use the toys and why they're helpful. Then for older kids, KiwiCo offers these super cool hands-on science, art, and geography projects, and the kids get so excited to see these delivered to their door. So whether you get it for your own kids or buy it as a gift, give awesome this holiday with KiwiCo. Get your first month free on any crate line at kiwico.com/newsworthy. That's your first month free at kiwico.com/newsworthy. Okay, now back to Thing to Know Thursday. So you may start noticing a lot of artificial intelligence on social media if you haven't already. 2 new tools seem to have exploded in popularity recently. First up, there's Lensa AI. It's an image editing app that morphs your selfies into what the company calls magic avatars. Since the feature launched late last month, the app has soared to the top of the App Store charts. But like with most things, Lensa has faced some controversy. Some people have criticized the app for how it designs portraits of women and minorities, and others say AI art just takes away from real human artists. But it seems most people who use the app are pretty taken with it, as you can see from the Lensa hashtag pages on Instagram and Twitter. The other AI tool we want to quickly mention is a chatbot called ChatGPT, since it's also been getting a lot of buzz online. ChatGPT can answer some pretty complex questions, write code, and tell creative stories. Essentially, it can understand human language and generate human-like written text back. It's trained on a huge sample of text taken from the internet, and it made its free public debut last week. Since then, some people have called it an alternative to Google, and programmers have used it to solve coding challenges in obscure programming languages in a matter of seconds. But there are some concerns with this as well, like whether this kind of technology could replace humans, everyone from playwrights and professors to programmers and journalists. Even the company behind the tool would not go that far, though. It says ChatGPT can also give entirely wrong answers and give misinformation as fact, and that's apparently a tough issue to fix. So for now, it seems people are mostly looking into the bot's potential and having some fun with it, too. All right, thank you so much for listening today. We'll catch you up on more news to know tomorrow. Until then, have a great day.